Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to part 4 of my story series. Wow, the series is coming to an end very soon, but I hope you guys have been enjoying so far. And if you haven't watched the previous episodes, please make sure that you go back and watch. Catch up so that you don't miss out on anything. Okay? Now, without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. So if you guys have been following through the storyline, you would have noticed that my focus was always on the academic side of things, on formal education, on how I progressed from one level to another, from high school, undergrad, postgrad, and all of that, right? And in today's video, I won't be dwelling much on that. I will be taking a different route. Yeah, so I'll be entering into a new area of my life and just sharing with you guys the events that unfolded as I progressed from one stage to another. Sure. So in 2018, I completed my master's at the University of Free State, and then I decided to pursue PhD. Yeah, so I decided to enroll at UCT to do my PhD program, and I was very excited to move to Cape Town and study there. I was so excited to start a new life. And also, one other thing that I was looking forward to was exploring the city, because you guys know the Cape Town is beautiful, and I couldn't wait to live there and explore the city. So Mugen was very excited. Sharp. So I got there and then I moved into a university residence and I stayed there for 2 years. But my focus right now is gonna be on the first year after moving to Cape Town. What happened? What are some of the events that unfolded after moving to this beautiful city, our mother city, So first few weeks after moving to Cape Town, I noticed, man, this place is quite different from what I'm used to. So basically moving to Cape Town was a bit of a culture shock, and it was so different, man. For example, I come from a place where it's normal for one to greet anyone that you meet, whether you bump into a stranger or someone that you know. It's just normal to say dumelang, hello, the guy, sharp. It's a thing. But then now moving to Cape Town, and everyone is just minding their own business. When you try to greet people, either look at you as if there is something wrong with you, or they give you a cold response. It was a bit of a shock for now, and I was like, God damn, what's cooking? So I actually experienced this when I was in my department. I was walking on the corridor and I bumped into one of the students and I just greeted. I can't remember if the person didn't respond or they gave me a cold hi. And I did it again, but not with the same person, with a different person. And the same thing happened. And I was so confused. Is there something wrong with me? What's going on? Why am I getting cold responses? Or someone just decides to pretend as if they didn't hear you greet. But obviously it wasn't everyone. It was only a selected few. But it was a bit of a shock because I was not used to that. Another example is when you are on a bus. So I used to travel to campus by bus, the UCT journey. And so I remember this one time I was sitting down and the bus was about to leave, and then this one student came in and they just sat next to me. Naturally, or from what I'm used to, I was expecting the person to greet me because they found me there, just to say hi. It didn't happen. The person just sat there, and then they were just minding their own business. So, those might seem like small things, but at that time, they were big things, and I was just shook. So, just to sum it all up, I felt like it was cold in Cape Town. Okay, not weather-wise, but of course it's cold in winter. But then in terms of the atmosphere, the people were very cold and unfriendly as well. And I found it very hard to adjust to that. But over time, I got used to it, and I understood, okay, this is how things are done this side, and therefore I just have to adapt and continue with life. But like I said, it was not everyone who was doing this. There were people who were very warm, friendly, and receptive, but others, why are you greeting me? Why are you greeting me? Why don't you just mind your own business? So that's what I experienced when I first moved to Cape Town. And then, so I've already mentioned that I was staying at a university residence, and this was the living arrangement. So you have your own room, and you also have your bathroom. The only thing that you share with others is the kitchen, right? So that's cool. But then it becomes a challenge if you get there and you don't have friends. You don't have a community of people whom you can share your life with. You're always in your room, your shower is here. Of course, you have all the privacy that you need. And then going to the kitchen, sometimes we would bump into someone, but it really happened. So first few weeks were very difficult. I felt very isolated. I felt like I was thrown in the middle of nowhere and I had to find a way to survive. So Up Square, which is the name of the residence where I was living, I found it to be very isolative. Very, very isolative. And of course they tried to organize events to bring people together, but that only happened later in the year, and I was just isolated. And also because I was a postgraduate student, it was even harder to make friends, because I feel like as an undergraduate it's a lot more easier to make friends because you attend lectures, and it's easy to interact with other people when you attend lectures or maybe during touch sessions, and as a result you can make friends. But as a postgrad student, guys, it's a rough kunzima. It's just you and your project. Now, I understand why some postgraduate students, or most postgraduate students, go through mental health problems. It's because it's a very isolative program. And if you don't already have a community, a group of friends that you can hang out with, you'll suffer a lot from mental health problems. For me personally, one of the things that kept me sane was going to church every week and meeting people, interacting with people. It was very refreshing, and if it wasn't for that, I don't know how I would have survived. But I did see it. But yeah, so that was my experience moving there, and now moving on to the next thing that happened. Whew. So after a few weeks of going to campus, I started feeling very insecure. I started feeling less confident. I felt like my confidence was in shambles. I felt like my self-esteem was crushed into pieces. I was also intimidated by the people that I was meeting there in my department. And also I think that one of the reasons why I felt that way was because I was in a new field and I was not familiar with a lot of things. The jargon or the language that was used was very unfamiliar, and when attending seminars in the department, I felt like I didn't belong, man. Even in the lab group, my research group, I honestly felt like an outlier. I felt like an imposter, honestly. And that really affected my self-esteem. My confidence levels dropped from level 10 to level 1. That's how bad it was. Yo! And yeah, I don't know how to best describe this, but I really felt small. I really felt like an ant in the midst of buffaloes. Okay, I know I'm exaggerating here, but I'm just trying to paint the picture so that you guys understand where I was at during that period or season in my life. And also because it was still in the early days after moving to Cape Town, I used to spend a lot of time on my own, all by myself, and I'll be consumed by my thoughts, and yeah, so basically my fears and insecurities magnified, and I was just that girl in jail who didn't have confidence. Shame, poor girl. I found it very difficult. I found it very hard for me to accept that this was happening. It was a hard pill to swallow. Why? Because I had always been confident. I had always been that confident girl. Well, of course, I am shy, I'm reserved, but shame, confidence-wise, I've always been confident. That's why I found it very hard to really accept that this was actually happening, and I needed to do something in order to overcome this problem. What did I do? I started watching YouTube videos about confidence. Yeah. And I also started reading books to get inspiration and build my confidence. Miguel started reading and watching these videos, and then over time the confidence came back. Gradually it came back, and I started believing more in myself and my capabilities because I had also lost it. When you feel like an imposter, it's like you don't know anything. Everyone else is up there, and then when you are here, you doubt yourself, you doubt your capabilities, you doubt the skills that you have acquired over the years. You basically doubt everything about yourself. So investing time in boosting my confidence, learning, reading, and watching videos helped me a lot. And my confidence levels started rising again. They started increasing. And I felt more alive again. I felt more like myself again. But I must say that this is not something that happened overnight. It took some work. It took intentionality, because I was very intentional about it, and I actually didn't tell anyone that I was struggling with this. I just kept it to myself, and I think also I was too proud and I didn't want others to know about my struggles, so I just did it, Anyway, I was like, yeah, you got this, do the work that needs to be done. And I did the work, and guys, transformation began to happen. The initial focus was on confidence, working on my confidence levels and making sure that I get to that level where I used to be. That was the initial focus. But you won't believe what happened. It started spreading out into other areas as well. My finance life, my spiritual life, my relationships as well. So the learning was holistic. It was not just about mindset, but it also touched on different areas of my life. And I started learning more about things that I didn't know about before. And a lot of things started making sense. One of the things was that my focus had always been on formal education, getting accolades, achievements, which is all good and nice. But then I had never really invested time in self-education, which in my opinion is crucially important. Like, it is vitally important. And ever since then, I never looked back. I was like, how come? Why am I only finding out about this now? Why am I only learning about this personal mastery thing now? I wish I had started earlier, because I really felt the richness inside. I felt so rich inside, and I also felt at peace, That's when I understood the importance of doing the inner work, feeding this person inside. Guys, that was a game changer. It transformed my life in a significant way. And I started building healthy habits, cultivating healthy habits, and just making sure that every day I dedicate time to work on myself so that I can become a better version and give the world the best version of me. Of course, there are days when I feel down, but then life is not linear. We do go through ups and downs, and of course, it's expected that you would go through a period in your life where things just go, But overall, personal development or self-development has played such a significant role in my life. I'm still continuing, I'm still doing it, and it has transformed my life. And I don't even know how to best explain it, how to best convey it in such a way that you guys get it. But I hope you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. So in a nutshell, moving from Free State to Cape Town was exciting. At the same time, I was forced to move out of my comfort zone because going to Cape Town really shook me. Like, I was shaken. My confidence levels were crushed into pieces, and I had to pick them up one by one by investing time in self-development, in personal mastery and growth. And I'm ever so grateful for the change that I experienced, because it made me see life in a different light. It made me see life in a different perspective. And growth is a process. It's not something that just happens overnight. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes practice as well. But I'm happy with the progress that I've made so far, and all these things that happen on the outside, they just like bonus, because the work is being done on the inside. So whenever you feel insecure, whenever you feel less confident, maybe it's time you ask yourself, what's missing inside? Maybe it's time for you to switch to investing more in yourself, your abilities, your talents, improving in different spheres of your life. And trust you me, that would be the best investment you would ever make. It's true. So yes, ladies and gents, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you've also found it valuable, and I hope you learned a thing or two from my own experience, Alright, cool. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's absolutely free of charge. You won't be charged, not even a cent, So just click on that red button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, please keep well, keep safe, and keep healthy.